Hi, my name is Danae King, and this is about the 87th time I've tried to record this promotional video. And by promotional, I mean me and my iPhone camera. And I've been doing this in my living room over and over, and finally I was just getting very nervous, and I thought, go outside, get a breath of fresh air. And so here I am sitting on my deck, and it is so calm out here. So I want to share with you, I am very excited to let you know that I'm jumping into the podcasting game. So starting May 9th, we will be launching Love Thy Number. So what is Love Thy Number? Well, it's an Enneagram-centered conversation. Yay! Another Enneagram podcast, you must be thinking. So why in the world would I want to start another one when there are so many wonderful teachers, wonderful books and videos, and people who have been on this journey for many more years than I have? Well, in the first place, I'm a 7, so I thought it sounded like a lot of fun. But truthfully, I have noticed that on this journey, in the many conversations I've had with other people who are loving the Enneagram like I do, a lot of times we focus on our weaknesses, where we can grow, where we're in our unhealthy stage. And I want you to know that I 100% think we absolutely need to find where we need to grow. That's what this is about. It's a journey of growth. But if you take that verse, love thy neighbor as thyself, then the implication is we are to love ourselves. And I think we miss the mark on that a lot. I think we focused on loving our neighbor, but the truth is, if we cannot love ourselves, then it's going to be impossible to love another. So wherever we see ourselves, then that's as far as we can meet another. So what I want to do is change the conversation a little bit, just to be able to acknowledge the strength of who we are in our number. I love being a 7 and being able to look at the positive in most situations. And every other number should be able to look at themselves and say, I'd really love this about myself. Yes, I need to grow in certain areas, but let's be honest and feel comfortable with saying, I love being my number. And that way, I think once we become more comfortable with acknowledging our strengths, then we can have respectful conversations with others. We can look at the other person and say, I know where they're coming from, and I love this about their number because I know their strengths. Encourage that in that conversation. Acknowledge, I love this about the way you see life. So this is going to be a journey of growth. I do not have all the answers at all, but I am very passionate about the Enneagram and the wonderful tool that it's been in my life and in my relationships. My husband will be joining me on this podcast, and we have spent many, many mornings, about 20 years worth of morning coffee talks, discussing things like the Enneagram and other tools of growth. So he'll be on this with me as well, and he's crazy. You're going to love him. This is a relationship podcast, and I think the more comfortable we become with who we are, then the more we can give to other people. And this is our children, our community, our coworkers. This will not be a religious podcast, but it will be a spiritual. It will have a spiritual overtone, because I think everything is spiritual. Our relationships, our work, our community, our hobbies, everything we do in life is a spiritual journey to me. So you will hear us quote from different wisdom traditions. I will use the Bible. We will quote from the Tao, Buddha, and some great wisdom teachers of our current day, Eckhart Tolle, Brene Brown, to name a few. So I want you to understand that this is not a preaching podcast, because I see that we are all universally one to begin with. And so if that's my understanding, then I can value you as my equal. I also want to take just a moment to thank some very, very special people. specifically Nan Henson, who has been my friend, my mentor, my teacher, my guide, and most of all, she's been the one who's encouraged me to take this leap. I've been through several of her courses here in the Atlanta area, and in March, she and Linda Roberts offered a training certification program where I got to be a part of a group of about 25 of us who spent 40 classroom hours learning this beautiful Enneagram tool so that we can learn to love ourselves and learn to have compassion for others. Thank you, Nan. Thank you, Linda. And thank you all for being patient with me on this journey. I'll stumble across my words. I forget what I was going to say sometimes, but I just try to be authentic and have fun along the way. I hope you'll join me, and thank you. This is a wrap. Done. Bye.